What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild today here on the channel. Today we got the Houston Rockets, a team that has now fully gone into rebuild mode after trading James Harden last year. They drafted Jalen Green second overall. He progresses super well in this game. I think both in this game and in real life, he's going to be an absolute star. I'm super pumped for this one today. So yeah, normal 3-year rebuild. We're just going to be doing this with injuries off. As always, everything is pretty much normal. What I need from you guys right now is let me know down below in the comment section what teams you want me to do next. I'm always open to suggestions. Anything you guys do want to see, I'd be happy to do. And finally, as always, if you guys are new around here enjoying the content you've been seeing, feel free to subscribe, man. Join the community. We would love to have you. And let's go ahead and get into this one. I think it's going to be a fun one today. So we'll quickly go over this roster. As I mentioned earlier, we're probably going to not be winning for at least the first season. I'm not going to try to win anyways. If we take a look at this roster, it's an interesting mix of some decent veterans and then some obviously young talent on this team. Take a look at that point guard spot. We obviously do have John Wall. Now, as much as I'd love to keep John Wall, the unfortunate thing about him here is he's 31 years old. He's probably not going to match this timeline very quickly, and I know it is only a 3-year rebuild, but end of the day, is his overall probably going to go up? Probably not. He's not really progressing anymore. So, fortunately, he does have that player option, so he can opt in next year. So, that might be the one reason why I would keep him. Then I can trade him next offseason, but I'm not 100% on that. I'm kind of just ignoring DJ Augustine, Dante Exum. Super, super excited to use Jalen Green here, man. He is going to be an absolute stud for us. I think without a doubt he's 100% going to be my guy going forward in this video. They also have Eric Gordon, whose name's actually kind of popped up in some trade rumors recently. Definitely somebody I could also move. I'd like to find a way to get Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green into this starting lineup. I just don't know if it's feasible, especially with the way this year with 2K works. You move positions, overalls tend to go down. It's kind of weird. Here at the small forward spot, we got Jayshawn Tate, we got David Nwaba, and we got Daniil House. I don't really know about this one. This one, for me, I would like to hypothetically play probably one of either Jalen Green or Kevin Porter Jr. there. I know I could also play one of them perhaps at the point guard spot. I have really no idea what the Rockets are going to do with their rotation moving forward into the regular season this year. But again, I'm kind of fine with whatever for this first year. It's kind of a throwaway season. I don't want to say throwaway because I do hate that term, but we're not going to be good this year. We're not competing, I think, at the end of the day. They do have Daniel Tice, who they signed this offseason. Actually a pretty decent contract. Kenyon Martin Jr. and Usman Garuba, who they drafted. What pick was it? Yeah, the 23rd overall pick this year. I'm actually pretty high on him as well. And then obviously probably the best player in this team in Christian Wood, who also should be higher than an 83 overall. But again, that's 2K for you. And then the GOAT, Alperen Sengun, who looked really, really good at some points over this past summer. So I'm super pumped about what this team's going to do, man. I do think we have a trade or two before we do start saving that first year, though. So we are going to go ahead and do this trade right here with the Miami Heat. Eric Gordon in a second-round pick going over there. We're getting Duncan Robinson back, who is on a pretty big contract. One of the things we do have going for him is he's on a multi-year contract. I know Eric Gordon is as well. But he's also only 27 years old. He's going to be coming off the bench for us because I do have this planned out in my mind. Good first trade for us here. The second and final trade that we're going to be doing before we do start simming this first year is with the New Orleans Pelicans. David Nwaba, DJ Augustine heading over there. Thomas Satoransky, Najee Marshall coming back. It's just an upgrade at that backup point guard spot. Not going to contribute too much, but overall, pretty good move for us here. So I decided to not trade John Wall. We're going to keep the rotation looking like this for the first season. It's going to be John Wall, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green. I have no idea what the combination is going to look like in real life, what they're going to try to do with that, but I'm assuming they want all three of those guys in the starting lineup. That would make the most sense to me. Maybe at some point in time, Kevin Porter Jr. comes off the bench, but for progression's sake in this game right now, I'm going to keep him in the starting lineup. Jalen Green moves to the small forward spot. His overall actually went up one, which is weird because a lot of other guys, when you move overalls, they go down, but shouldn't be a big deal. We have Daniel Tice starting at that power forward spot, and then Christian Wood, obviously, our bench unit. Got a little bit better, I would say. Duncan Robinson, definitely an upgrade in my opinion. Jayshawn Tate, Kenyon Martin Jr. We picked up Thomas Satoransky, and then Alperen Sengun's been getting some minutes here as well. So that is how it's looking for year number one here. We're obviously not going to be great, but I do think this team can hopefully compete and then have a decently high draft pick. See you guys at the end of year number one. So just as expected, it was not a very good first season for us here in Houston. We wrap it up as a 15 seed and absolutely dead last at number 30 in the power rankings. So high draft pick. I do have somebody in mind. I'm sure a lot of you can put together who it is. Luka Doncic takes home his first career MVP. Cade, your rookie of the year. Would have been cool to get Jalen Green it, but it's okay. Andre Drummond, 6th man. Giannis Defensive Player of the Year. Daniel Gaffer, most improved. Ty Lue, Coach of the Year, 63 and 19. So yeah, we're not in the playoffs. Definitely not something we do have to worry about. We'll take a look at the overall standings, see if we did actually end up with the worst record. Yeah, 23 and 59. We had the worst record, so we should hypothetically have the... Actually, no, I guess the odds are all like 14% or whatever it is. But we should have a very good pick in the upcoming draft. John Wall actually led us in scoring. Christian Wood. Jalen Green, good rookie campaign. 16.5 points, almost 4 boards, 3.5 assists, 1 steal. Not bad. KPJ was solid. Duncan Robinson, Tate, Daniel Tice. It is what it is. All right, we will simulate these playoffs real quickly, hopefully going ahead and doing this, in a very, very quick fashion. I don't miss old 2Ks when it took forever. And the Philadelphia 76ers, who I said this before in a video, always seem to somehow win a finals in this first season. Dude, I am waiting for Ben Simmons to be traded. It just feels like, again, we're just delaying the inevitable and just waiting way too long at this point. But that is done. Philadelphia, congratulations on your championship. Melo, Udonis Haslem, Trevor Ariza all retire. Staff retirement. Why is he retiring? Literally just got a head coaching job in Boston. Melo makes the Hall of Fame. Jerseys, that's Carmelo. And league meeting time now. As you sure all of you know, we reject these. We'll do that quickly. Here comes the big moment. What pick are we projected? We're currently projected the number 2 overall pick. We also have 13 from Brooklyn. I'm surprised they were so bad. But let's go ahead and sim the lottery, see what we end up. We end up with the number 1 overall pick. Absolutely perfect, because I know who I'm going to be taking there. We also do have the 13th pick via Brooklyn. And I'll see you guys rookie signings. So we just wrapped up the 2022 NBA draft. As I mentioned, we had picks 1 and pick 13. We took Chet Holmgren first overall. He's 7 feet tall. He's going to be our power forward moving forward. Definitely an upgrade over Daniel Tice. And then we got Kennedy Chandler with the 13th overall pick. So the point guard spot is definitely up in the air right now. It's very, very possible we do move John Wall this offseason. Kennedy Chandler, a little bit of an insurance option for us, if you will. So 2 really good draft picks. I'm very happy about both of those. We'll do team player options. Wall obviously is accepting $47 million. I always bring back everybody just because I can trade the first round picks if I don't end up using them. Probably not going to give the qualifying offer to either of these guys, if I'm being honest with you here. So we are officially up to free agency, where we don't really have probably, a ton of money to work. Actually, we might have a decent amount of money. No, we don't. We have an $8.5 million player or mid-level exception, but again, probably not really going to use that. So it's officially time to get into some trades. I'll see you guys with our first move. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is I have a very big free agent that I do want to sign. So dumping John Wall's contract, this is actually the least amount of money that I was offered back to us. So we're obviously going to move on from Kuzma after this, and then I do have a guy in mind, as I mentioned, that I do think would be a really good fit for us at this team. So we're going to go ahead, probably have to trade Duncan Robinson too, but we'll get Kuzma out of the way. He's making $13 million, and I'm not a Kyle Kuzma fan. I'm sure a lot of you do know that. So we'll get this done real quick. Hopefully just something cheap. Come on. I just want, perfect. Thank you, Sacramento. And then I'm going to hopefully see how much money I do have. It's Kyrie, by the way, if you can put that together. So we only have $22 million right now. We got to keep dumping, and I think we're hopefully going to be able to find a very good offer. So unfortunately, Duncan Robinson does have to go. It kind of does make sense. Then we're probably going to have to dump a few smaller contracts. But again, we get this done quickly. I really think we're going to be able to get Kyrie, and I really do think we're going to be in a good spot. I think this definitely could be a playoff team moving forward. So Tice is probably going to be my final guy that I dump before I have to go ahead and try to sign Kyrie. He didn't actually have any real offers. They're all like mid-level exception offers, which was kind of weird in my opinion. But I just need a first-round pick here. Honestly, Nick Richards in a first, that's fine. Do we have enough money for Kyrie Irving? We do. That's the most lets me give him. I'll give him a player option and no trade clause because he's Kyrie Irving. Hopefully he accepts that. I mean, a backup option could maybe be Russ if I want to bring Russ back to, Houston. I don't know if that'd be the best idea in the world. But, again, hopefully Kyrie just signs. He does. Welcome to the team, Kyrie Irving. Basically, our one big free agent there, probably of the video. I haven't signed like a really big free agent in a long time. Sometimes, as I mentioned, I do like taking a little bit of a different approach. But today, in an only 3-year rebuild with a team like this, I think it's a good move. All right, so I just went ahead and made 3 small trades with guys that we really were never going to use. I dumped Nick Richards, Dante Exum, and Najee Marshall, all for first-round picks. None of those guys are really going to play for us, if we're being honest. So we'll go over kind of the roster right now, what it's looking like, what I kind of have in mind. It's definitely going to be a 10-man rotation again. So Kennedy Chandler will end up getting some playing time for us. I'm very excited about that. I do have to decide what I want to do at shooting guard, because I'm very high on Kevin Porter Jr. I'm definitely going to be starting him next season. I just don't know who his backup's going to be. It could be either Josh Christopher or Jamias Ramsey. I just don't know yet. I'm probably going to sign somebody. I'll see you guys with the next move. All right, so I think the move that we're going to go with is I actually have just under $16 million, so I can actually go ahead and sign somebody pretty decent at the backup shooting guard spot. So I'm going to go ahead and sign Kevin Huerter. He's not a bad backup shooting guard whatsoever. I think he's going to probably be a pretty good fit for this team. Honestly, could even end up being the 6th man. So Kevin Huerter, welcome to Houston. Going to be my backup shooting guard. So this is how the rotation is going to look. It's going to be Kyrie, Kennedy Chandler, Kevin Porter Jr., Kevin Huerter, Jalen Green, Jayshawn Tate, Holmgren, and Kenyon Martin Jr., and then Daniel Gafford is probably going to get some playing time just because I traded for him. He's very cheap, and then maybe next show I'll go back to Sengun. But I think this team's in a much better spot. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2 here in Houston. So honestly, after looking at this rotation, I almost maybe think this could be a playoff team. I'm not saying we're going to be that good. We're probably not really going to win a round or two. But looking at the way this squad's kind of built, I think we have the potential there. It's going to be Kyrie Irving, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Chet Holmgren, and Christian Wood. So some very big upgrades into our starting lineup. Our bench shooting also got better. Kevin Huerter, Daniel Gafford, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jayshawn Tate, and then Kennedy Chandler getting 10 minutes a night. And then if we need Sengun, he is down here. So I really like the way this team's looking, man. Obviously not looking again to be a 15 seed. I'd like to be closer to the playoffs. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2 here in Houston. So honestly, a lot better than I thought it was going to be here at the end of year number 2. We finish it up as a 3 seed here in the Western Conference. A little bit higher than I thought we were going to be. Luka Doncic goes back-to-back in the MVP department. Chet Holmgren does get Rookie of the Year for us. 15.5 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal. Looking like he's going to be very good. Jared Allen, 6th man of the year. Giannis wins another defensive player of the year. Shea, most improved. Willie Green, coach of the year. So we'll go ahead and check out the standings real quick, see where we are at. Finished with a record of 49-33. Not bad for winning, what was it, like 26 games last year, whatever the hell it was. I think we're in a really good spot this year moving forward. So we'll also look at some numbers real quick before we do get into the playoffs. It was Kyrie Irving, then it was Jalen Green, Chet Holmgren. So scoring is a little bit spread out, but honestly, I'm totally fine with that. So we'll send the play in real quick. Not that it really matters for us. We have the Sacramento Kings here in round number 1. De'Aaron Fox, Halliburton. Oh, they got my boy Kyle Kuzma, Marvin Bagley, Sean Holmes. They got Davion Mitchell off the bench, Malik Monk. Pretty good team, but I do think we are better. I think we 100% have the best player in the series in Kyrie Irving. Let's hopefully get this done pretty quickly. We're up 3-1 right now, and we move on to round number 2. Now we have back-to-back MVP Luka Doncic and the rest of the Dallas Mavericks. Josh Richardson made his way back to Dallas. Tim Hardaway Jr., Mo Harkless, Tingus Pingus, Moses Brown, Dwight Powell. They're good. I don't know if they're necessarily like that much better than us. I think, honestly, we should be able to beat them. We got to battle Texas right here. I just realized that. We're down 3-2 right now. 3-3, and we're moving on. Oh, boy. Here comes New Orleans, and I'm sure a lot of you know the Zion effect in this game is really, take a look at their starting 5 right there. Let's see if we can pull off a miracle here. We win game 1 on the road. We lose game 2. We win game 3. We're up 3-1. We're up 3-1. Come on. Do not blow a 3-1 lead. We're in the NBA Finals. We're facing the defending champions in the Philadelphia 76ers. They added Oladipo. I don't know why this happens so often when they play just 2 centers. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. We win game 1. We lose game 2. Lose game 3. Fuck. All right, 3-2, making it a little bit of a series. Philadelphia goes back-to-back. Joel Embiid Finals MVP. God damn it. So honestly, I'm not that upset about it. I really didn't think this team had any shot of really even winning a playoff series. Never mind making it all the way to the NBA Finals. So I can live with that. We obviously want to go ahead and try to be in it next year as well. We'll take a look at the draft lottery right now. I don't know if we have anything. Oh, we have Brooklyn's pick, so it's going to probably be around 14, it looks like. That pick does sit right at 14. So we'll probably end up trading it. I don't really think we do need it. I'm going to do some coaching stuff, and I'll see you guys with our next trade. All right, so we have 3 first-round picks this year. I think this team has enough talent on it. We really don't need them. We're just going to use, 2 future first-round picks from Portland. If we need them, I'll probably end up just trading them. But again, we don't really need to draft anybody right now, not with the way this roster's built. So this is beautiful right here. All of these guys coming back. I don't really know who we have for like big free agents that aren't restricted. Ramsey probably not, and Jay Sean can get that qualifying because I definitely want Kevin Porter Jr. back. So let's look at free agents right now. Christian Wood might be a free. Yeah, he is. So Christian Wood is definitely a big one. I 100% want to get him back. Other than that, like Gaffer, I'd maybe like to get back, but I also wouldn't mind giving Sengun a shot. I'm actually going to give a real contract to both Jay Sean and Kevin Porter Jr., so we're going to wait on them a little bit. I'm going to do all this, and I'll see you guys whatever's next. So I don't know if it's going to be possible, but Colin Sexton would definitely be an upgrade to the starting shooting guard spot, and I'm not including Kevin Porter Jr. in this deal because I do want to keep him on this team. If we look at Colin Sexton's numbers, he's been absolutely tremendous. If it's possible for us to get him on this team, I'm going to do it. So now I'd be willing to give up basically whatever picks you guys want. I mean, yeah. All right, cool. Colin Sexton, welcome to the team. Him and Kyrie Irving going to be our backcourt. Take a look at this roster right now. We kind of have it all figured out. I do need to figure out my new backup small forward. Other than that, we are kind of, all set. I think this team's in a really good spot. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm going to re-sign Daniel Gaffer, then trade him for somebody different. Wow, he wants $15 million. God damn. All right, I'm going to do a sign and trade with Gafford. I'll actually show you guys it just because it's kind of a little bit of a bigger move, I guess. So Daniel Gafford, 2 first-round picks. Get some sort of backup small forward. Does not need anybody. Does not need to be anybody tremendous. Yeah, OG Anunoby's actually honestly perfect. He actually is really good. So we're all set. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final year here in Houston. We are here at the start of the 3rd and final season in Houston. We made it to the NBA Finals last year. Ended up losing to the back-to-back champions, Philadelphia 76ers. We made a big upgrade at that starting shooting guard spot, and I'm very happy we were able to keep Kevin Porter Jr. because as much as I do love him, he's just not progressing as much as I need him to. So Kyrie Irving, Colin Sexton, Jalen Green, Chet Holmgren, Christian Wood. Very, very good starting 5. 100% should be a top 3 seed here in the West. Our bench unit is also really good. KPJ, OG Anunoby, Alperen Sengun, Usman Garuba finally getting some playing time, and then Kennedy Chandler as well. I think this team should be a lock as a top 3 seed, hopefully going back to the finals and winning it this time. See you guys at the end of the 3rd and final year. So Luka Doncic finishes up the video with a 3-peat in the MVP department. We, on the other hand, are a 1 seed. I have no idea what our record is because I do not pay attention at all while simulating. Not that it shows it anyways. But Modi Bates, Rookie of the Year, Scoot Henderson. What a name. I have no idea who you are, but what a name. Giannis Stevens, Player of the Year, Most Improved, Kira Lewis Jr., and Mike Stauffer is our coach, so we do go 63-19. Yeah, I signed him just because. Who was the head coach? I forget whoever the head coach of this team is. I'm just being dumb right now. I'm a little slow today. But whoever it was, his contract was up, so I didn't fire him. But we were 9 games ahead of the Dallas Mavericks, and we did have far and away the best record in the entirety of the league. Whoops, I'm just totally going in the wrong place. Let's look at some player stats right now. Colin Sexton, Kyrie Irving, Jalen Green. You can see the rest right here. Rebounds was Chet Holmgren, and assists Kyrie. All right, we'll simulate the play and see who we are facing in the first round. It's going to be the Sacramento Kings, who we beat last year. Take a look at their starting 5 right now. I don't think this one should be too hard if we're being honest with you, man. Sacramento's just one of those teams that, like, I don't know, man. Like, I almost just, like, feel bad for, like, Sacramento Kings fans. Just like, oh, seriously, we're not losing right now, right? Okay. I don't know. I feel like they can just never get it together, you know? I just really do. And, like, every time they have something good happen to them, like DeMarcus Cousins or De'Aaron Fox, I feel like they just don't really capitalize on those opportunities. But, again, they're not exactly the biggest market, especially being in California. So, we'll stop talking about them. We're down 3-2 to the Pelicans. Bro, this team was so good, and I wanted to win a championship with them so bad. That's so annoying. In Cleveland, we took your best player from you. I mean, seriously? Oh, man, I don't get it. All right, well, we got close. We made it to a finals. This team... Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. I thought this team was absolutely sick. I actually had a ton of fun with this one. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below. It definitely helps me out. As always, you guys new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel. You guys get any other video ideas, feel free to comment those down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Have a good weekend. I'll see you in the next one.